stories.
So, apparently, a man went into the Washington... I saved this. Let me find it. I think I sent it in our messages. That might be bad. There's a lot of messages.
Oh, yeah.
So, he went into the Washington, D.C., which apparently the Washington, D.C. temple is, like, super visible from the freeway going through there. And he took a couple hostages at gunpoint.
Okay, not where I thought this was going.
No? I mean, I feel like this is the best temple story ever. I mean, being taken hostage at gunpoint's not funny.
No.
But this isn't supposed to happen at the house of the Lord.
I thought you were going to say, like, he went to the temple and, like, broke in and stole something, not took hostage.
Yeah. Well, I think he had some mental health issues.
Well,
from reading this article. Ooh, there it is. Okay, so it prompted like a 12-hour police standoff. This was 1986. This was when I was 2 months old.
Oh.
So a horrifying series of events unfolded Wednesday night, October 22nd, 1986.
Good Lord.
The Washington Post wrote a story about it. Okay. So a man, I'm just going to read this because I don't think I can sum it up and give it the justice it deserves. A man armed with a handgun forced his way into the Mormon Temple in Kensington. I guess that's the town that the temple's actually in by D.C., Kensington. Last night, and was reported to be holding at least one person at gunpoint there early today as Montgomery County police surrounded the white marble shrine. One man who was held by the gunman managed to escape shortly after 2 a.m. and was reported unharmed. Police said the incident began shortly after 8 p.m. So this would be like, I think, as the temple's closing for the day. When a man went to a rear basement door and tried to get in by displaying an expired pass. So I'm assuming they're meaning a temple recommend. Only members of the faith of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka the Mormons, who have special permission from the church elders called a temple recommend, are allowed into the building, and police said a security guard tried to deny the man admittance. At that point, I wonder if this was new name Noah. I wonder if this was new name Noah's earliest attempt to sneak into the temple undetected. I'm teasing. New name Noah's my favorite. I don't think he'd use a gun to sneak into the temple.
He is my favorite as well.
Okay. At this point, police said the man produced a gun and entered, forcing the guard to accompany him. Police were called a few minutes later when the man was seen making his way to the temple's upper floors. So Washington, D.C. temple, I'll have to find you a picture. It's huge. Like, it's not one of, like, the Spokane temple's like one of the micro temples that, you know, it serves its purpose, but it's not, like, ridiculously massive for no apparent reason.
But it still has an oxen bathtub and macaroni on the top?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, cow pool.
Yes.
That's what I called it.
That's what we decided we were calling it. So the police were called. He went to the upper floors. Okay. Shortly before midnight, County Police Chief Bernard Crook said police had just made contact with the gunman by two-way radio, apparently over a portable radio the guard had been carrying. About 2:15 a.m., Cook said the police were 99% sure we have identified him, although he declined to disclose who the gunman was thought to be. Crook said the man was not from the Washington area, although he might have been staying here. He said some of the man's relatives had arrived at the temple and that at least one family member was being flown in from out of town. If they think your family can talk you down, you need psychiatric help. Police said one man who had been held had escaped while the gunman was distracted and was being questioned by police. Police said one man was still being held, apparently on the temple's 7th floor. The chief said the man seemed to be making sense, but police negotiators were having a hard time getting their conversations with the man off one subject. He said the subject was not the Mormon church, but would not elaborate further. Well, that's convenient. He stormed the temple with a gun, but he's not talking about the Mormon church.
Nope. Maybe that was just the closest building. He's like, that one. That one looks nice.
Sure.
I love marble shrines.
The man entered the temple grounds, a fenced 57-acre tract at 9900 Stony Brook Drive?
Yep.
Stony Brook Drive, just outside the Capitol Beltway in a car, Crook said. This is where, see, it's huge.
Dang.
Okay. The incident came to a peaceful end after 12 harrowing hours and more than 50 police officers on the scene. Police. They have a difficult job.
There's so many cops.
So many cops having to deal with this person's insanity. Which, here's the thing. If he needs mental help, he should have gotten mental help.
Yeah.
Like, if he needs to go to a hospital, he should have gone to a hospital. I'm not trying to mock the mentally ill. I just think if we had better treatment for the mentally ill, things like this wouldn't happen because they'd be treated.
Mm.
Okay. So Leek was 29, a member of the church living in Centerville at the time, sporadically attending his home church in Langley during the ordeal. His hostages saw him place ammunition in the middle of the temple's assembly room and turned on the radio to listen to the World Series. Because what else do you,
Priorities.
Yeah, priorities. That night was Game 4 of the famed Mets versus Red Sox matchup. Buckner's tragic error was Game 6 of that series. I was 2 months old. I don't know, nor do I care about the World Series in 1986.
That's a pretty big whole thing.
It gets really bizarre,
Oh,
okay?
Oh, no. It gets bizarre?
Well, it gets more bizarre. To make matters even more bizarre, he released one of his hostages because we would have been released, okay? He seemed pale. A month later, Leek
If we ever
was
get kidnapped, I
indicted.
hope it's somebody like this. You guys are pale. Go.
Bye-bye now. A month later, Leek was indicted in Montgomery County. Sorry, this is a website about the D.C. area that I'm getting this from, and they think I care.
Mm.
And his mental health was questioned by defense attorneys. No shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
To mental health professionals. They used the wrong two. Two mental health professionals testified that he asked his attorneys to subpoena 14 Mormon prophets long since deceased. I told you it was getting bizarre. Because he was convinced they had been resurrected and had witnessed the course of events. He also stated that he had been called by God to cast out the demons on the 7th floor of the temple.
That's where you keep them, right? The 7th floor?
I guess that's where we store the demons in the DC temple. But I mean, he was asked to cast them out, so maybe they snuck in like he tried to do.
Oh, weird.
On June 24th, 1988, he was found guilty of assault and false imprisonment after the jury deliberated for 8 hours. However, he was not found criminally responsible for reasons of insanity on the 2 counts.
Huh.
So I feel like this is the best temple story I've read. I also love the idea of subpoenaing dead prophets.
Can you do that?
I mean, you can subpoena anyone you want, but the sheriff's going to return that subpoena is not found.
Yeah.
Or send a picture of their headstone with the return of service.
Oh.
So that's what I found in my attempt to find a Halloween story.
That is entertaining.
It was entertaining, but not Halloween. I was hoping to find, such and such a temple is haunted. People have seen ghosts in the such and such temple, which I feel like I heard these stories. Can't find them on the internet because the Mormon church is scrubbing the internet. Giant Mormon conspiracy.
They never would do such a thing.
You underestimate them, my friend.
I do.